Hi, so we are at Eilean Donan Castle. Unfortunately, most of the rooms were not allowed to video or take any photographs. So I've captured what I'm allowed to capture. So I hope it just gives you a little bit of an insight into this beautiful castle. Now, the name Eilean Donan, or Island of Donan, is most probably called after the 6th century Irish saint Bishop Donan, who came to Scotland around 580 AD. And there are several churches dedicated to Donan in the area, and it's likely that he formed a small community on the island during the late 7th century. Eilean Donan Castle is famous for its stunning, picturesque location on a small island where 3 separate lochs meet, and its significant role in Scottish history and the Jacobite uprisings, and also its frequent appearances in film and television, particularly in movies like Highlander and the James Bond film The World Is Not Enough, has made it a very popular tourist attraction. Hi everyone, hope you are all well. We are back on Scottish mainland. We left the Isle of Skye this morning. We were so sad to leave. It was absolutely incredibly beautiful. So much more than I could have imagined it to be. And the weather has been, it's been gorgeous. it's just, we were being so lucky with the weather. The midges are here though, unfortunately. The midges arrived a couple of days ago, so yeah, but I've not been bothered by them too much so far. I've had a couple of bites, but I'm covering myself with smidge, and hopefully that will keep them at bay. But yeah, we are on our way to Glencoe. We left the Isle of Skye and went straight to Eilean Donan Castle this morning. Spent a good couple of hours there, and we've just driven past the Five Sisters, and wow, how beautiful is that landscape. It is just breathtakingly beautiful. So we've just pulled in so that Moo can have a little swim by the side of this river, because he was getting a bit all hot and bothered. So he's having a nice cool dip, and once he's all fully refreshed, we will get on our way to Glencoe. So we'll see you when we get there. Thanks, mate. Just wet me through. So this morning we've come to the Caledonian Canal, but this time we're right at the other end of the canal, in Fort William. Now, if you remember, or you've seen my previous videos, you'll remember that when we were touring around Loch Ness, we called in at Fort Augustus, and we saw a similar staircase of lochs over there at the other end of the Caledonian Canal. But this time we're at Neptune's Staircase, which is a series of 8 lochs. So we're just going to go and have a little look and explore and see what it's all about. So come on, let's go. Well, it's that time of the trip again when I needed to get my washing and my drying done. So whilst we were waiting for that to do, we went over to the old Inverlochy Castle. So we're at the old Inverlochy Castle in Fort William. Unfortunately, it's permanently closed, and it has this fence going all the way around it due to the structure being unsafe. So we can't go in, but I've managed to get a few photographs through the fence. But yeah, it's a shame that it's sort of deemed unsafe now. So we've come to the Nevis range in Fort William for the afternoon. so that we can catch the mountain gondola to take us up to the top of the mountain. Now this place is fantastic if you love the outdoors. It's got lots of different activities, such as mountain biking, skiing in the winter, lots of hiking trails, and it's a really lovely place to spend a few hours. So we've just hopped onto the gondola now, and we're just going to enjoy the 15-minute ride up to the top of the mountain. What a beautiful day it is. You can just see some of the mountain bike trails just down there. Unfortunately, the windows are not very clean, so it's difficult to get a good view for you without actually looking through the tiny little window that opens to the right of me. Papa, what are we doing? Hey, what are we doing? Good boy. There's more mountain bike trails there, and they go all the way up to the top of the mountain. He's a good boy, yes. He's a good boy. So we're flying over the treetops now, and it's just lots and lots of Scots pine for as far as the eye can see. Well, this is embarrassing. We're going up in the gondola and Moo has been poorly. He has diarrhea and we are inside the gondola going up the mountain. I am just so grateful that we are in this carriage by ourselves. I don't know what's going to happen when we get to the top. It's going to be very embarrassing. But hey ho. Oh God, this is going to be so embarrassing. We're nearly there. I don't know what I'm going to say to them. It absolutely stinks. Oh, oh God. So we made it off the gondola in one piece. As you could see, Marley was quite poorly on the gondola. He's absolutely fine in himself, there's nothing to worry about, and it wasn't the gondola that made him ill. He doesn't get fazed by things like that. He was a little bit loose this morning, and I just put it down to something he ate, because he's a bugger for picking things up that he shouldn't do sometimes. If he sees a little bit of sheep carcass or a bit of a dead squirrel, dead rabbits, any kind of really dead stinky wildlife, he absolutely loves. He loves to roll in it and cover himself in the most disgusting smell that you could ever wish to imagine. And B, if I don't catch him in time, or if I don't see him do it, he would like to eat it. So I'm guessing he found something yesterday to eat that he found rather tasty. Either that or he's been drinking water that wasn't particularly that fresh. So yeah, it was very, very embarrassing. When that gondola door opened, the smell must have hit that poor young lad. I mean, he was only young, he must have only been in his early 20s. And the stench was disgusting. And I'm so grateful that I was in that gondola on my own, because if I'd have been there with another family, wow, I'd have been jumping it out the window if I'd have been them. So yeah, we managed to get a bucket of water from the cafe at the top, and with a lot of paper towels we managed to clean up his mess. I'm just a little bit anxious about going back in now, because we've got to go all the way back down again. So I'm hoping he's got it all out of his system now, and hopefully we won't have any more accidents on the way back down. But keep your fingers crossed for us. Eh? Yes, you silly boy. Shall we get you a drink now? Eh? We get you a drink. Let's get you a drink. So this is the bike track that's up here as well. This is the start of it, and there's several tracks that go all the way down the mountain, right to the very bottom where we got on the chairlift. So we've been to the viewpoint just up there on that little hill where we were watching the hang gliders, and now we're going to walk to the other viewpoint, which is along this track. So there's a ski lift, or one of the ski lifts on this mountain. Obviously it's not working today because we don't have any snow, but that goes right up there to the top of the ski slopes. Wow, look at that view. So we're now at the second viewpoint on the mountain, which is just there. But look at that view over the lochs. It's just beautiful. Wow. So you can see the bike tracks going down the mountain. You must get some serious speed up going down there. I don't think I'd quite fancy it. Must be really exhilarating though, you get a real thrill. Wow. And then over there is Fort William. So there in front of us you can see Ben Nevis. We won't be going up Ben Nevis on this trip, we have done it before, but we won't be doing it this time. Looking mighty in all his glory and beautiful sunshine. So we're in the gondola going back down the hill. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that my little man down here is going to be fine until we get to the bottom. It's a 15-minute journey each way, unless we stop, which we are doing right now, which will then make it longer. But yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. He's done lots of poops on the mountain. Oh gosh, the joys of being a dog mum. Coming down now, coming into land. There's the airstrip at the bottom, look, the runway. Where's Bob? See if we can see him. Where are you, Bob? There he is. Hi, Bob. Just look how clear this water is. So clean and fresh, and it tastes delicious. Absolutely wonderful. So we're walking through the beautiful Glen Nevis now, and we're going to meander along the river all the way up to Steel Waterfalls. We've parked down at the lower falls, and we're going to walk all the way up to the main Steel Waterfall through the fabulous gorge. Hi everyone, we are calling you from Ben Nevis, although we're at the bottom, not at the top. We've just had a really lovely walk through Glen Nevis, and we're just heading up to Steel Waterfall, which is there somewhere. So I've got midges flying all around me. Yeah, it's been a beautiful day. So we thought we'd have an evening walk. We've just walked up by the stream, and it's been really peaceful. We've not seen anybody actually since we've come up here. They must all be up there on top of the mountain today. So yeah, it's lovely, really, really nice. Well, this is a fabulous bridge to get across. So you stand in the middle, on the middle rope, and you hold on to the top two and walk across. Now I would give that a go, but obviously I have a dog, and Marley is a lot of things and he is very clever, but he isn't going to be able to tightrope across there. So we are going to find another way across to have a look at the waterfall. See you on the other side, folks. Have you ever seen anything like this? Oh, Steel Waterfall, absolutely beautiful. So we're heading back down towards the gorge now, and then we'll head back down through Glen Nevis and back to where Bob is parked. There are some really dramatic drops along here, where the water has carved out its path along the gorge and through the massive boulders. I didn't get any photographs of them on the way up because the path is quite tricky in parts, as you'll see, but I wanted to take some footage on the way back so you can get a feel for how spectacular this place is. So I've popped Marley back on his lead just whilst we go through this gorge, because you can't really tell on the video, but the sheer drop on the left hand side is really big, and Marley will try and find a way down to the water. I know he will. And then, knowing our luck, he will get stuck and he won't be able to get back up again. So I've just popped him back on the lead just to be safe. Look at the size of those rocks. There's some absolutely huge rocks and boulders down there. You wouldn't want one of those falling on your head, would you? Bit of a scramble here. Oh, ouch. Just see wet paw prints everywhere. So we're back in Bob now, and I've just pulled over to the side of the road because there are some gorgeous Highland cows here with their little calves, bless them. So lovely. Well, today we've come to Glen Finnan specifically to see the Glen Finnan Viaduct and, of course, the Jacobite steam train, aka Hogwarts Express. So for all you Harry Potter fans out there, you will remember the very famous scene where the Hogwarts Express comes over the viaduct, and that's what we'll be seeing today. So we've just left Glenfinnan station where we've had a coffee and a cake, and we're now taking the viaduct path back over to the visitor centre. But look at this view, it's just beautiful. And you can see the train track just there, and just in the distance you can just see the viaduct. There it is. So just down there you can see the Glenfinnan monument, and that's where we're heading to next. So the staircase going up the monument is very narrow and very steep, and a little bit tricky in places, especially at the top. I'm told there's an unusual route up onto the roof. Unfortunately Marley wasn't allowed up here, so the lady at the gate, the National Trust member, said I could leave him with her and she would keep an eye on him for me. So yeah, here we go. Okay. Oh, that was interesting. You have to climb through a little hatch. There's Moo Moo down there. I'm not going to shout him because he'll go mad. Wow, look at these views. Great views up here. There's my little Moo Moo, bless him. There's the viaduct over there. You get a great view from up here of the viaduct in all its glory. Okay, now we have to go back down the hatch. This is going to be fun, isn't it? Well, I've never done anything like that before. I've never had to climb through a hatch.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.